Hey guys, welcome again. In this video, we will talk about CloudFront. It is one of the services provided by AWS for content delivery network. So it is very important for the websites where you're hosting in S3 or in load balancer or in EC2 instances where you want to have a very good performance for your end users. So we can utilize this content delivery network service, and that service name is nothing but CloudFront. It is one of the services given by provided by AWS. So let me log into the my console. Yeah, so I have logged into the console now. If you want to see where exactly the service I'm talking about is, you can always click on search for services and you can try CloudFront here, and then you will get the services here, which is Global Content Delivery Network. So click on the CloudFront. So if you're trying to log in for the first time, you would get an empty page, but I have a couple of distributions which we created. So we will talk about the terms and the concepts first, then we will jump into the demo. Yeah. So the first thing is, let me open my whiteboard. Okay, now what exactly the CDN or CloudFront I'm talking about? Okay, if you Google, okay, if I'm going here as I'm hearing for the first time, say for example, what we normally do is you will just Google it like this, what is CDN? And then if you hit it, you will get something like this. See, CDN is nothing but content delivery network. A content delivery network or content distribution network is a geographically distributed network of proxy servers and their data centers. The goal, okay, that is very important. The goal is to provide high availability and performance by distributing the service partially related to end users. Okay, and if you see the advantage, you get decreased server load, improved site speed and website performance. This is very important. Yeah, and couple of other things as well. So basically the CDN is nothing but it is a content delivery network, wherein it will distribute your content geographically in different servers, and then it will provide high availability and performance. Okay, so this is very important. Now if I Google like this, say for example CDN examples, if you hit enter, see we are getting around 13 different products for the CDN, and out of this 13 products, one of the product which we are talking about is Amazon CloudFront. And if you ask me, Samir, who is the competitors? Yes, Cloudflare is one of the CDN, Incapsula, Cashfly, Swamify, Google App Engine. So likewise, we have multiple products who is giving the CDN concepts. Okay, so you see ours is, which we are going to talk about, is Amazon CloudFront. So what is Amazon CloudFront? Amazon CloudFront is a CDN that integrates with Amazon Web Services to provide an easy way to distribute content to end users with low latency and high data transfer speeds and no commitments. So you can use your own domain name and your own SSL certificate to deliver content over HTTPS. So a lot of things are there. So basically this is what we are going to do. If you want to see the CloudFront documents also, just type AWS CloudFront docs, the first link, click on it, and you can have a complete read through developer guide. Go for HTML or PDF. So if you click on HTML, so on the left side there are a lot of topics. Okay, whatever topics, what are the use cases you can do, you can slowly go through. So I think that would come around 1,000 pages or something. So that is a concept. Okay, now moving on to my terms. Okay, so what is what are the technical terms which we are using in CloudFront? Okay, the first thing I want to talk about here is, say for example, you created a bucket here. Okay, and this is a bucket and the S3 bucket, and you created this in India region you created. Okay, now, and you have hosted the some files or website there, like static website or something else. Okay, now somebody is from say for example somebody is from US here. Okay, some user is trying to access S3. Okay, and somebody is here in Singapore. So here somebody is in Singapore and he is trying to access the S3. Okay, now obviously the distance between US and India is far away, but wherein comparatively from India to Singapore it's less. Okay, and also if somebody is in Sri Lanka, okay, see somebody is in Sri Lanka here and some end user is trying to access a bucket, obviously they will have latency will be less. Okay, but here high latency will be there, and also here will be high latency. Okay, I mean this is very high latency and this is high latency and this is low latency because of the distance. Okay, so in order to resolve this, what we are going to do is we are going to introduce some technical terms here. So what are those? Okay, consider the same diagram which I'm going to put. Okay, now I'm going to put say for example this is India. Okay, this is India here. Okay, and this is US. Okay, and this is maybe I can say like Australia. Okay, these are all the three countries which we have it now, and your bucket is hosted in India. Okay, your bucket is hosted in India. So your bucket is here. So this is a bucket you hosted in India, S3 bucket, it is here. Now what we are going to introduce a concept called inside in this India, okay, and inside this Australia and inside this US. Okay, so somebody is trying to access. Okay, in this diagram what happens is if somebody is trying to access, it will directly hit the S3. But for now I'm going to introduce a concept called edge location. Okay, if you guys heard about in my previous video, there is something called regions and there is something called availability zones. So likewise there is something called edge locations. Okay, now what is edge location? Edge location is a physical location where it is located in all the regions, in all the availability zones inside every region. Okay, locally, say for example this guy, the person who is in US, this guy is trying to communicate from trying to hit the traffic from New York. What happens is inside the local New York there would be a location, edge location, okay, which we are not aware of, which Amazon never reveals where are the exact edge locations and all. Okay, so what happens is this guy will go and hit the edge location traffic, and then from edge directly you will have a direct contact with the bucket. So this bucket, I mean this transition I'm talking about, this one, this network, right, this is happening in all private fiber net which has high speed. So what happens here is, since it is covered from edge location to the S3 bucket, since it is private and high speed, the data transfer is high and the performance will be higher. So when you compare this one and this one, it is the difference. Yeah, so the CloudFront, which I'm going to talk about, utilizes the edge location of the local region, and from the edge location it will transfer the files into the bucket, or it will try to read the files from the S3 bucket. Yeah, so this is the concept of the edge location. Okay, now I'm going to introduce, okay, now I'm going to introduce the second one. The second concept is something called origin. So what is origin? The first one is, let me open a notepad. So the first one is edge location. Okay, the second one is origin. So we'll talk about origin now. So what is origin, Samir? Origin is nothing but where your files are. Okay, say for example, you are creating a CloudFront distribution here. Okay, CloudFront Distribution, CFD, and this side is origin. So this origin is nothing but where you have your original data. Say for example, this is S3. I have it in S3, but you can have it in EC2 also, or you can have it in load balancer as well. So this CloudFront distribution can connect to S3, or it can connect to EC2, or it can connect to load balancer. So origin is nothing but where your data is originally located. Okay. Now, if somebody is trying to hit the CloudFront distribution, the request will go to CFD. From the CFD, it will go to S3, and then it will fetch the data. It will give the data back to the requester. Yeah. So this is a concept of the CloudFront distribution in a high level. We have a lot of other things to cover, which we will cover in some time. Okay, now what is the next term I want to talk about? The next one I want to talk about something called TTL. So time to live. So what is time to live, Samir? Say for example, let me introduce another diagram. Okay, so here we go. Okay, say this is India. Okay, this is India, and this is US, okay, and this is South America, and this is UK. Okay, say, and here you have put a bucket is here, okay, in India location, AP South 1 Mumbai. Okay, now US is here, UK is here, and South America is here. Now say for example, in this bucket there is a file called sun.jpg, something like that. Now there is a guy from US, okay, he is trying to hit the edge location. I'm just making like E, okay. Okay, before I talk about edge, let me tell you in the other way. Yeah, okay, cool, no problem. So let's talk about edge location. So I'm hitting the edge location. The edge location will first check, okay, it will first check whether the sun.jpg is already present or not. So this sun.jpg is already present here or not. If it is not there, what happens? This one, the edge one, I mean, from the edge, there would be a traffic will go to this bucket, and it will get the sun.jpg. To get the sun.jpg, then it will put it here in edge location. So in edge location, we have sun.jpg. Okay, now say for example, from the same US region, somebody else is trying to access the sun.jpg. At that time, it will come here to the edge location. It will see whether sun.jpg is there or not. If the sun.jpg is there, then it will not go to the it will not go here again, because it's already there in the local edge location, and then you will get the response. So this is the concept of, I want to introduce few more terms here, which is nothing but this is a concept of something like cache hit and cache miss. So cache hit means what? Cache hit means if the requested file or doc or media, anything is present in edge location, then it is cache hit. Okay, if the requested file or doc or media is not present in edge location, then it's a cache miss. Okay, now the time to live is nothing but, okay, for how long the files should be cached in the edge location. So default timing is 24 hours. So these are all the important concepts on CloudFront distribution. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, our task is like this. Okay. Task is create an S3 bucket, high level overview, upload an image, and then create a CloudFront distribution. And then what you need to do is you need to make some configurations and try to access. So we will have part 2 and part 3, but for now in this video we will talk about this, and then in part 2 and part 3 we will explain more concepts and terms. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an S3 bucket. So let me go to my console here. Perfect. Now, first thing is, in order to go to S3, you can always search here S3, or you can make it as a favorites, or you can go to the recently visited. So many ways of accessing the services. So I clicked on S3 services. Now I'm just, I think I have a couple of demos here. So let me empty these demos. Just give me a minute. Okay guys, so I'm going to create a bucket now. I'm going to give like this CloudFront demo Samir, and then I'm going to create it in US East 1, keeping my object ownership as disabled ACL, because I'm going to give bucket permissions if it's required, and I'm not going to allow public access. So these are all the things. Let's click on create bucket. Okay, now my bucket is created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get inside the bucket. Okay, CloudFront demo Samir. Now I'm going to hit on upload, and I'm going to click on add files, and just going to give some image. For example, okay, let me give this BMW bike image. Okay, and I'm going to hit on upload. So now this file is being uploaded. Okay, all good. Okay, now my task is done. If we get any kind of error, we will troubleshoot that one. Okay, so now first and second is done. Now let's talk about the third one. So what is a CloudFront distribution? How do you see CloudFront distribution? Search for services here, type CloudFront. So you'll get this one, CloudFront Global Content Delivery Network. Click on that. Okay, as I said, you guys wouldn't have anything here because I was playing around. So click on create distribution, the first one, the tab, and then click on choose origin domain. So now here you can see the origin. You can use anything in Amazon S3 or anything in Elastic Load Balancer. Okay, or anything in media store container or media package container, that is a different services. Okay, but for now we can concentrate on Amazon S3, and the one which I created right now is CloudFront demo Samir. That is the S3 bucket which we created a couple of minutes back, and that is it is coming up here. So when you click on it, that's it. Okay, now here the origin path. So what is origin path? Origin path is nothing but, say for example, you want specific files needs to be come up as soon as somebody hit the CloudFront distribution. Okay, so for now I'm not choosing that one, and choose the name. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, say for example, if somebody wants to access beach.jpg as a default, or they can, as soon as they hit the CloudFront distribution, then you can put those names here. Okay. Cool. Now the name is automatically came up, and S3 bucket access. So what is this S3 bucket access is? Say for example, let me go to my whiteboard here. Okay, so here you have S3 bucket and you have CloudFront distribution, and you have this person. Okay, now if he's trying to access S3 directly, you're blocking this and you're forcing him to go via CFT. From CFT it should go here. So that is what in one liner I could say, like use CloudFront origin access ID to access S3 bucket. Okay, so you have to click on this yes, use OAI origin access bucket can restrict access only to CloudFront. See, if you give this origin access identity, what happens is CloudFront S3 will say, okay, only CloudFront can access me. Okay, nobody else can access me. So that's what this one. So when you do this, it will ask you to create a new origin access identity. So just click on create new OAI, okay, and then click on create. So that was gets created. Now we need to update the bucket policy in the S3 bucket. Let's go back to S3 bucket and let's see what is the bucket policy we have. So if you go here, S3 management console, and this is the one which we created, CloudFront demo Samir. If you go to permissions for the bucket, if you scroll down, you do not have any bucket policy because obviously we do not add anything. Now what happens is, if you click on yes, update the bucket policy, the CloudFront will automatically connect to this bucket and it will update the policy, which we will see right now in some time. Okay, so you have to click on yes, update the bucket policy, which is very important. Now scroll down. Now if I want to talk about origin shield, it's like it prevents your DDoS attack and other kind of attacks. Okay, and scroll down. Okay, and I want to talk about the policies here. If you remember, I was talking about the TTL, time to live. It was a default is 24 hours. So for example, those kind of things you can configure here. So cache key and origin request. If you see cache policy and origin policy recommended, so this is a recommended one which says cache optimized. Okay, if you click on view policy, you will get, this is a policy which is getting used, and here it says, what does it says? Maximum TTL, it says 315, which is nothing but, if you convert it, it is a 365 days. Okay, and what is the default TTL? If you convert this 86,400 seconds, it is 1 day. So 1 day is a default. Okay, so TTL you can do here. If you want to create your own policy for this, what you can do is you have to click on create policy. When you click on create policy, you will get the TTL, you can set it up. Okay, what is the minimum TTL you want? What is the default TTL you want? A lot of things you can do here. Okay, so that is what it happens. Now if you scroll down, but make sure that you choose this one, cache optimized should be chosen. We have various other policies also, but just go for this one. Okay, now if you scroll down, okay, and then here, what is a price class? So price class is nothing but, I want to show you something here. Okay, if you go to Google, AWS CloudFront Futures, okay, if you click on the first one, so here it will give you a kind of map. See the map here? So what does this map says? The blue one are edge locations, okay, and the pink one are not pink one, I'm sorry, the violet one are multiple edge locations, and the brown or orange one is having regional edge caches. So just want to address you about this regional edge caches. So what is regional edge caches, Samir? So say for example, let me do this way. Okay, cool. Say this guy, okay, this is New York, okay, and this is something like Washington, okay, and this bucket is in S3 and this is in say for example India. Okay, now a person who is coming from New York and person is coming from Washington DC, what happens here in India, I mean in this bucket there is something called beach.jpg file. So when somebody is trying to hit the beach.jpg, what happens is it will go to the, there is, okay, let me do like this. Okay, so it will go to the edge location. This we call it as a local edge location. This is also, I want to talk about local edge location. Okay, now this guy will go and hit the local first and then it will verify whether beach.jpg is there or not. Okay, if the beach.jpg is not there, what it will do is it will go to some other place called, this is regional edge cache. It will verify in regional. If it is not there, then it will go to S3, then it will pick it up, it will save it here, the beach, and also it will come back, it will save it here as well in the beach. So this is how the procedure is. Now Washington, this guy is trying to access beach. In the local edge, it won't be there. But if he hits a regional cache, yes, beach is there. Then the traffic will not go from beach to JPG again. It will come back and then it will hit it. So this is a process of the regional edge cache. Okay, I hope you guys got the background of it. So here you can see how many edge locations we have, and then here you can see I mean, understand this. What it says is, see, CloudFront edge locations are connected to the AWS regions through AWS network backbone, fully redundant, multiple 100 GB parallel fiber that circles a globe and links with tens of thousands of networks for improved origin fetches and dynamics. So this is a page where you can see how many edge locations we have, what are the regional edge caches we have. You know, a lot of things are there. So for example, in Europe we have, in Frankfurt, Germany we have 15, London, UK we have 14, Paris, in France we have 9. So likewise we have a lot of edge locations. Okay, so the reason why I came here and stopped here is, if the distribution which we are creating right now, I mean, I'm creating a distribution, right? Yeah, the distribution which I'm creating right now for that S3 bucket, if you scroll down, the price class is nothing but you're telling this distribution, hey, I am going to utilize all my edge locations. All my edge locations means what I'm saying is here. So I'm just saying use my distribution in all my edge locations. But if you choose this, yes, it's very costly. CloudFront is a paid one. You have to pay some money, but as soon as you create it, better you delete it, but there will be few cents will be going on. Okay, cool. Now if you do something like use only North America and Europe, so what will happen is only the North America and Europe will be coming up. So North America, here your distribution will be covered, and also here your distribution will be covered. That is the second option. Okay, now what is the third option? If you go to the third option, it says use North America, Europe, Asia, Middle East and Africa. It means the entire things almost. So North America, Middle East, Europe, Middle East, Africa and Asia. So these things will be covered if you choose the third option. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is, for now, for this demo, I'm going to choose for use all edge locations. Okay, if you choose use all edge locations, there will be pretty much cost. And there is another one, AWS WAF, which is nothing but web application firewall. If you search for WAF, you will get one of the services, WAF. You have to create it, and then only you will get the drop down here. This is also kind of DDoS attack tool. Now scroll down. Now what is this alternate domain name? Okay, add the custom domain names that you use in URLs for the field served by this distribution. So if you don't want your default domain name which will be created in by CloudFront, you can add some domain name and then you can get it done. And also the custom SSL certificate, this is a different part which we'll talk about it later, but for this demo just scroll down. And also here in the default root object you have to give index.html. Okay, why we are giving index.html? If you see my S3 bucket here, I don't have the S3 bucket. I mean, I don't have index.html. What is the, okay, I have bmd.jpg. So let me click on bmd.jpg. That is the only file I have. So I need to click on it and then click on create distribution. So this distribution will take maximum of 15 minutes because right now if you see it will be in deploying. So let's wait for it to get it enabled or completed. Okay. Okay guys, so I could see like my distribution got created and this became enabled. Okay, so I'm clicking on if you expand this domain name, you got the domain name here, Control C, you can copy that, or if you click on that, then you'll get the distributed domain name which is the same, and just click on the copy button here and then open a new tab, just paste it there and then hit enter. See, you're getting the page whichever is there in my BMW in the S3 bucket. Okay, so in the S3 bucket I have the same image. So this is the same image I have. So if you hit on open, so that also opens the same thing. Okay, so now my content is getting distributed from edge network. So this is one thing. So let's do one thing. For this, I'm going to let's make it something else. Let's see, high definition pictures. Okay, now just want to download some high definition pictures which is having more than some MB. So let me click on it. Click on this. Okay, so if you hit on download, just hit on download. It says download full resolution image. Oh no, I don't want to install something. Download, let's see what happens. Okay, it's doing some sort of extension. Just give me a minute. Let me try to download some other files here. Okay, guys, so I have downloaded a file which is, Pexels-James-Wheeler. This is the file I've downloaded, and this file I'm having. Let me see the file size. Okay, this is around 2.2 MB file. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is let me go to my S3 bucket. Yeah, so I'm going to my S3 bucket, CloudFront Demo Samir, and I'm going to say, for example, I'm going to upload the new file. Okay, add files, and then here I'm going to my downloads folder, and then I'm going to add this file pexels hyphen something, which is nothing but 2.2 MB, and then I'm going to click on upload. Okay, so now hit on upload. Now it will take a couple of seconds to upload. Yeah, now it is done. Cool, perfect. Now let's see this experiment whether it works or not. So what I'm doing is the earlier file which I've downloaded BMW, which is 88.9 KB, but the one which I did it right now 2.2 MB. Okay, now if you go to my CloudFront distribution, if you click on this, okay, so if you remember, I did it index. I mean, if you click on origins here, and then if you click on origin name, then if you click on edit, if you scroll down to the bottom, additional settings, okay, not here, just go back, click on behaviors, yes, here, click on this, and then click on edit. Scroll down to the bottom, you would see an option, additional settings. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me see where exactly it is. Behavior, distributions. Okay, default root object. I was looking for this actually, which is in general tab. So default root object, if you see, I've chosen is bmw.jpg. But when you're creating some website with index.html, you don't need to do that. But right now I'm just doing a quick demo. So that's why I'm not creating any website kind of thing. So instead of bmw.jpg, let's see you're giving this one, okay, pexels something, okay, and then Control V. And then if you save changes, now the changes will be saved, and then if you see here, the status would be deploying again. Okay, so you need to wait for some more time on this. In the meantime, okay, if you come to this bucket, okay, and then if you click on this, okay, and in the okay, before that, go to the bucket and go to the permissions here. So here you will see there was a permission which is already added by the CloudFront here. Okay, earlier in the first minutes of video, you didn't see any kind of permissions here, but now you will see some permissions which was already added. Okay, now since, and also if you go to the permissions here, block public access, it is turned on. Okay, but if you go to the objects and then go to this one, pixels, and then if you click on object URL, you will not be able to access, you will get access denied. Even though you're not allowing the image to go public, okay, only way of accessing is via CloudFront, only way. Okay, so when you click on CloudFront here, let's see, okay, it is still in deploying, so let's wait for a minute to come up and make it enable. Okay, so it will take another couple of more minutes. Okay, let's see whether it is status. Yes, the deployment status has been changed from deployment to the last modified date. Yes. So now what we're going to do is, now let's realize what we're going to happen. Okay. So first time I'm going to access this, I'm copying the distribution domain name. Yeah. I'm opening in my new incognito window. So Control V. If you say hit enter, okay, just see what happens now. After you hit enter, yes, it just took some time to open. If you would have seen, it took some time to open the image. Now, if you go to the incognito window, or maybe if I open some other browser, okay, Microsoft Edge, if you hit enter, I should not get that delay. It should open just like that. If you hit it, see, if you refresh it again, okay, see, it just opens without any delay on that. So this is what I was talking about. So if you go here and then if you refresh, or if you open a new tab, enter, see, we are not getting the delay. If you hit enter, so because this is opening from the Edge location. Okay, so let's try Chrome also. I think Chrome we have done it. Let's try Internet Explorer. Okay, Edge we have done it. I don't have Firefox. Okay, cool. Cool guys, so this is what I wanted to tell you about this, and yeah, we will see a couple of other things in the next video. Thank you.